When you get hurt, you don't want to end up on the injured list. You want to get back in the game stronger than ever. At Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, we fight for you, making sure big insurance doesn't throw you a curveball. With over $25 billion recovered, we're the home run hitters you need.
This is way out there and gone.
Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Proud sponsor of the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
You want to see the ring? Here, I have a picture.
Wow, look at you.
I know, right? Went to Hellsberg and customized the whole thing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, well, I showed them all our inspiration photos, picked the setting, the diamond. It's actually pretty fun. Now for the real hard part, asking her.
Well, congrats, buddy. Ring looks awesome.
Start your story with Hellsberg. Designed with care and craft since 1915. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
It's time to talk Grizzly.
The air conditioner made specifically for Arizona summers.
Alaskan AC introduced the Grizzly a couple years ago, and the reviews are pouring in.
This one says, I love how quiet it is. I can hardly hear it come on, but I'm always comfortable.
Another person writes, finally an air conditioner that can withstand the desert heat and dust.
This one says, I like its fluffy fur and cute black nose.
Anyway, if it's time to upgrade your AC, you can't do better than the Grizzly.
Only available at Alaskan AC.
People love it.
Like this person who said, we live in an older home and the Grizzly keeps us comfortable in every room.
Or this guy, we live just outside of town and the dust is horrible. Glad we have an AC that can take it.
Or this one, he's so cuddly and has these adorable pads on his paws.
Gary, I think you're on a different webpage.
Gary, I think you're different.
Learn more about the Grizzly at alaskanac.com.
America. We are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. By honoring your sacred vocation of business, you impact your family, your friends, and your community. At Grand Canyon University, our MBA degree program is 100% online, with emphases in business analytics and finance to help you reach your goals. Find your purpose at GCU. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu.
The summertime deals are still heating up at Mark Kia. Right now, receive 0% APR for up to 60 months on a brand new 2025 Kia EV6.
That's right, 0%. The name to remember, Mark Kia. Mark Kia. This is a deal you've been waiting for.
Offer expires September 7th, 2025.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe, Phoenix, and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale, Phoenix. It's the lunch break.
No, they couldn't be, right? They're not back, are they? Welcome in to the Thursday edition of the lunch break right here on KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert with you. Producer Evan is behind the glass. We've got you for the next 2 hours. You can join the program. 480-864-1060 is how you can get in touch with us here today on the Thursday edition of the program. And yes, let's start with it. Let's get it out of the way because I know some of you are feeling it. The thought certainly crossed my mind yesterday when the Diamondbacks rallying in the ninth inning, picking up another victory, moving to 8-4 since the trade deadline. So we'll answer the question. Are they back?
Time for our top story of the day. It's the Daily Special.
I think it's only fair, Producer Evan, to start with the bad and then go from there. The Diamondbacks, even with this good stretch of ball, 8-4 since the deadline, series win against the Texas Rangers yesterday. Ketel Marte once again playing hero in the ninth inning. Down 4-3 with 2 outs. Marte hits the go-ahead home run. The Diamondbacks hold on to win 6-4. Andrew Saalfrank picks up the save. Basically everybody in the bullpen as of late has picked up a save for this Diamondback squad. But even with this nice stretch of baseball, even with a team that just took 2 out of 3 from a Texas Rangers team that is fighting probably harder than the Diamondbacks are to be in a playoff race, they still have, according to Fangraphs, a 1.6% chance. to make the postseason. So we're not going to do that conversation today, although I do want to say this. You are entitled to get excited about this 8-4 run that this team has been on. You are entitled to enjoy watching this team play the way that they are playing. You are entitled to look at this weekend against the Colorado Rockies, a 4-game set in Denver starting tonight, when the last time you played this team a week ago, you picked up a 3-game sweep against them, and you are entitled to start looking at the standings, doing the math, and being invested in this baseball team from an enjoyment and entertainment perspective. You are allowed to do that today. You are allowed to do that this weekend. Do not allow anybody to throw in your face that they only have a 1.6% chance of making the playoffs, that their schedule in September is a gauntlet in many regards. Don't allow today anybody to throw cold water if you are choosing to get excited and enjoy the Diamondbacks baseball that you have seen on your television screen over the last 12 games, because you are certainly allowed to do that today. What's the point of being a fan of a team if you can't enjoy when they're winning? What's the point of devoting your time and energy to a team that you can't get excited and celebrate when they go on a nice run and now have passed 2 teams in the standings, in the Marlins and the Giants, and enter play tonight only 5.5 back out of a wild card spot? And it's not like any of the teams in front of them are inspiring confidence that they're going to run away and hide with a playoff spot. So be excited. Watch the game tonight. Look forward to a 4-game series against the Colorado Rockies with the way that this team is playing. Get excited about watching Ketel Marte continue to be a hero night in and night out. Embrace it. But if you choose to embrace it to a level of there's a run incoming, they're going to be the 2024 Detroit Tigers, you just have to prepare yourself. Well, I think it was last Monday. Expectations minus reality equal disappointment. If you want to set the expectations that high, you're free to do so, but prepare to be disappointed. If you are just excited that the team is playing good ball, you're encouraged that this is the way that they're ending the season, going into a bumpy offseason ahead, not sure what 2026 is going to look like on paper with their roster, and you just want to enjoy this ride while you have it, you absolutely should do that here today. You absolutely should do that over the weekend when they take on the Colorado Rockies. And if you want to expect them to go out there and take 3 or 4 and sweep Colorado with the way that they have been playing, the way that they played Colorado a week ago, I see no issue with that. I see no problem with you just a little bit allowing that excitement to creep back in. Because you know what? For a large chunk of this season, we didn't have that excitement. We didn't have this team playing that type of baseball. And so, yes, I'll be the first person to admit it. Yesterday, we had the game on in the office. We were doing some post-show stuff. And the moment the game was over, the excitement got to me. We were looking at the standings. We were looking at how they could end the night just 5.5 games back of a playoff spot. We looked at what their upcoming schedule was to wonder aloud if this team could potentially go on a run to at least make September exciting.
And knowing that your next series is 4 at Colorado, it's hard not to get excited. It really is.
And John says it over on the YouTube live stream. He says, let's get to 500 first. Again, let me frame this correctly today. I am not saying that all of a sudden the Diamondbacks are back and they're going to go on a run and they're the 24 Tigers and they're going to march their way to the postseason. All I'm saying today is, you know what? You've got a baseball team right now that's providing a lot of fun, providing a lot of entertainment. And if you want to right now clear your schedule over the next 4 days to sit down and watch them play baseball and get excited and enjoy and have some fun, you are well within your rights to do that with the way this team has played as of late. Now, if it was me, I'm framing expectations properly. Still a 1.6% chance to make the playoffs. Still a really tough schedule in September. So I'm not going to go all crazy today and say this team is back in a playoff race. But with how bad this season got at times, post-deadline, you thinking it's going to be the dog days of summer. It's going to be 2 months of unwatchable baseball. That was a thought that many people had. That after they traded Suarez, they traded Naylor, what's the point? What's the point of watching them play? Well, this is the point. Because a baseball team can get hot. Is it sustainable? I don't know. They've had like 7 or 8 different relievers pick up a save in the last 2-3 weeks. I don't know if that's sustainable. I don't know if Ketel Marte always hitting a home run in the 9th inning with the game on the line is sustainable. I don't know if any of it's going to last more than another week or two. But if you want to get on the ride for that week or two, absolutely that's what you should do. But just frame it in the proper context. This team is not going to go on some magical run more than likely. This team is not going to repeat what the 2024 Detroit Tigers did. That's not going to happen. That's more than likely not in the cards. But can this team give you some excitement over the next couple of weeks? Can this team provide some entertainment for you maybe this weekend? Because their schedule gets tough. Bunch of games against the Dodgers. They've got games against the Giants and the Padres. They've got Philly on their schedule as well. They've got some really tough teams in August and September. And so that's when reality sets in and tells you maybe you're overreacting to a team to say that they can go on a run. But the thought crossed my mind yesterday. I did the work, looked at their odds, looked at the standings, and wondered aloud if they could go on that run. Because when a team gets hot, you just don't know how far that will take them. You never know how long of a run you can go on. Not to say that they're the Milwaukee Brewers, but the Brewers have won 12 games in a row. And there seems to be no sign of them slowing down at any point. You just never know when that run could start. And I think you're encouraged by the players that are at the center of what we've seen since the trade deadline. You have Ketel Marte. You have Corbin Carroll. You have this young bullpen with a bunch of arms that you know is going to be there in 2026. Players that are going to be in this lineup in 2026. Great stories like Blaze Alexander playing his way into a prominent role in 2026. All of that is great. All of that is good. Don't allow anybody to stop your excitement over the way this team is playing. Maybe put it in the proper context, but enjoy what you're watching right now and enjoy the fact that with the way that this team is playing, you look at this series over the weekend against Colorado and you expect them to take 3 or 4. You expect them to be able to potentially pull off the sweep against the worst team, one of the worst teams in baseball. You expect that. Good. That's what this team should have been doing all season long. That's what this team should be able to do next season against teams like Colorado, the bottom of both the American and National League. The worst teams in baseball, you should be able to feast. And so, yeah, could this be a snowball that carries if they have a really good weekend? We come in here on Monday and we're scoreboard watching again and we're seeing what it's going to take. Still 3 teams to pass. Still an uphill battle to climb. Still a team that's not at 500. Still a team that's only had one nice stretch here of 12 games. But that does not mean you can't enjoy what you're watching. We were having fun watching it yesterday.
We really were.
We were having fun watching Ketel Marte hit a huge key 3-run home run to take the Diamondbacks from losing this series to stealing one from Texas. And oh, by the way, could have very easily swept this series against Texas. Could very easily be 1 game closer in the standings. Could very easily be sitting here just 4.5 games back of a playoff spot. Now, you have to have those games if you are going to become the 2024 Tigers. But I don't know, man. Sports are supposed to be fun. It is supposed to be enjoyable. And in a lost season, in a season that went sideways so quickly for this franchise, a little mini run here in August and September to lead into the offseason, I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to have fun keeping tabs on what the Diamondbacks do from here on out. Is it going to guarantee success in 2026? Absolutely not. But I'll take some fun from a baseball team that was supposed to be fun all season, and we haven't had a lot of fun. We spent most of our July discussing trade rumors about this squad. Who's going to go where, what they're going to get back, who needs to be traded. And so now that we don't have to do that, now that we get to talk about a team that's playing good baseball, moving up in the standings, I don't know where it's going to end up. But I think it was D-Back Stats and Info tweet this, one of our favorite Twitter accounts. They said, hoping doesn't cost you a thing. It doesn't cost
part
you
of the fun.
Exactly. It doesn't cost you a thing to watch the way this team is playing and maybe just get a little bit more excited to watch them over the weekend.
And
to start
you're not
dreaming
hoping for a playoff spot.
No, but you're
dreaming for the future of this team. That's the
Exactly.
fun part of this run.
Exactly.
It's about Locklear. It's about Blaze Alexander. It's knowing that you have Corbin Carroll and Ketel Marte and Geraldo Perdomo. You have the core.
To me, the most encouraging thing of this 12-game stretch is you are seeing the future Diamondbacks bullpen on display. You're seeing all of these young arms that are going to be a part of this team next year contribute and play meaningful roles in high-leverage situations and thrive.
Did you say 7 players that have a save?
It's something like that. I don't have the numbers directly in front
Imagine if I told you in 2026 they have a bullpen with 7 players with 9th inning experience.
Yeah. When you're not
How do you not get excited about that?
You're not going to have Justin Martinez at the beginning of the year. You're not going to have AJ Puck at the beginning of the year, and you don't know what version you're going to have of those guys coming back from the injury. Because here's the dirty little secret, everybody, about Tommy John surgery. Everybody just takes note of when the surgery happens, and they say, "Oh, blank pitcher will be back in a year from now." They won't be back to their true form probably in 18 months. So Corbin Burns, Justin Martinez, AJ Puck, they may come back in the second half of next season, but do not expect them to be the best version of themselves. Do not expect them to go right back to being the pitchers that they were before they got hurt. It's going to take time. So you're going to need other guys, especially in that bullpen, to step up. And you have a group right now that is playing great. Over the last 7 games, the Diamondbacks bullpen, a 2.54 ERA. The Diamondbacks are 5-2 in that game. Andrew Saalfrank became the 14th different Diamondback pitcher to record a save this season. You've got guys getting saves all over the place. Now, Saalfrank's a guy that you expect to be here next season. You have guys like Burgos you expect to be here next season. Juan Murillo, who picked up his first MLB save in this Texas series, he's going to be here next year. I'm going to read directly from the D-Back Stats and Info tweet. The Diamondbacks, who hopped the Marlins in the wild card standings late last week, have, with their 11-1 loss to the Padres earlier today, now jumped the San Francisco Giants in the wild card standings. There are now 3 teams between Arizona and the wild card 3 spot. Again, dreaming equals no cost. And if that's what you want to do with the way that this team is played, you have every right to do that. You have every right to get excited about your baseball team playing good baseball. You have every right to get excited that the core that is going to be here on this team next season is playing well. Especially with how bad this season has been. They've got 41 games to go. Might as well just let it play out. So another series win, another heroic moment from Ketel Marte for the second straight night in the 9th inning, and the Diamondbacks just keep on rolling. They are 8-4. 8-4 since the trade deadline, and they continue to just stack up series wins. And yeah, part of the dreaming is you look at the calendar and you see 4 games against Colorado, and you think there's a decent chance you could gain some ground. I think there are some people out there, Producer Evan, that think I'm foolish today, no? There are some people that even the idea that I'm entertaining this, consider me foolish. Are you going to consider me foolish if we come in here on Monday and the Diamondbacks take 3 out of 4 and they gain a couple games in the standings and all of a sudden they're 3.5 games out of a spot? Are you going to think I'm foolish then for at least entertaining this and telling you, have fun? Enjoy what you're watching. And if they continue to play good baseball and you want to start scoreboard watching, go right ahead. At the end of the day, what do we always say on this program? Sports are supposed to be fun. And the Diamondbacks are giving you something fun to enjoy right now, and you enjoy it however you want. You want to think that they're going on a run? Go right ahead. If you want to have some cautious optimism about the rest of this year in the future, you go right ahead. I just don't understand anybody today who's going to look at this and say, you shouldn't be excited. You shouldn't be having fun. This team still wasted a year. Sure. But you know what? There's 41 games to go. We're going to be here to talk about what happens over those 41 games. We might as well have some fun and enjoy the ride going into the offseason. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. We've also got you over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. Michael over there says some believe they're going to make the playoffs. I'm not willing to go there yet. Let me make that very clear if I haven't already done so. I'm not ready to do that. But am I ready to keep tabs on If they have a good weekend, what Cincinnati does, what St. Louis does, what the Mets do, yeah, I'm going to keep tabs on those teams if the Diamondbacks continue to play good baseball. Because then the math is going to open the door for this. All I'm saying right now is you've got a baseball team that's playing the type of baseball that is playing the fun baseball that we wanted to see all season. So just because up until this point it has not been great doesn't mean you can't enjoy what you're seeing from this team right now. On the other side, when we come back, joint practice day in Denver. So the Cardinals and Broncos are in the middle of a joint practice. What can we learn? That's next, the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
James Out West, your home for sports down here in the desert. Join James and Pat the Stat Guy as they recap the weekend and dive deep into the numbers for the NFL, NBA, college sports, and more.
That's 5 seasons of 1,200 yards.
Player stats, team numbers, and contracts are just the start of the discussion for James and Pat.
He started 815 career games. He threw 749 complete games.
There's no hiding when it comes to stats. It's James Out West every Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Global Credit Union, how can I help you?
It's one of those voice prompts.
Representative! Good morning. How can I help?
Wait, is this a real person?
It's 2 a.m.
We're here to help members 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Impossible.
At Global, possible. Learn more at globalcu.org. Global Credit Union, your world of financial possibilities.
Make memories you'll cherish for years to come. Join Miss Appleberry, JJ, Cody, Nina, and Cece for a lively Melon Patch musical adventure in this exciting interactive live show. Saturday, October 4th and Sunday, October 5th at the Arizona State Fair. Sing along. Dance along. Play together. Tickets on sale now at azstatefair.com and include Arizona State Fair admission. It's a celebration of connection and childhood wonder. Coco Melon Sing Along Live inside the Coliseum at the Arizona State Fair.
Jan from Toyota here with live coverage of end of summer fun at Toyota's national sales event with my special guest, Eli Manning.
Thanks, Jan. Let's get into it.
Down by the lake for some fishing, we've got Eric in his Tundra. He throws his line, and he's going long!
Heck of a team effort there. That Tundra got him exactly where he needed to be.
Next up, here's Kyle, off-roading behind the wheel of a 4Runner.
Whoa, that 4Runner's got some serious moves on the field.
There's excitement in the stadium parking lot with the Davis family tailgating in their new Sequoia.
All eyes are on Dad manning the grill. He grabs some buns from the cargo area of the Sequoia and flips. And look at that. What a way to close this one out.
Sure was, Eli. Until next time, go Toyota!
See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Dealer inventory may vary. Event ends September 2nd. Toyota, let's go places.
Jim Rome here with your Rome Report, or as my listeners and viewers like to refer to me as Dodger Jim, here with your Rome Report. And no, that's not a compliment. It's their insistence that I'm a Dodger honk when I've made it very clear the only thing I ever actually root for is something to talk about, that I don't have a favorite team or a favorite player or a favorite anything. And to prove that, why don't we talk about, quote, my Dodgers? Dodger Jim has a real problem with the way the LA Dodgers are playing. They can't handle little bro down the street. The hapless Angels, who are now incredibly 5-0 against them this season, and the surging Padres have run them down in the NL West. The Dodgers are busted up. Their bullpen is full of arsonists. No one not named Shohei is doing anything to consistently help. So no, I'm not Dodger Jim. But yes, the actual Dodgers have a problem because, as I said yesterday, not only are the defending world champs not the ones to beat right now overall, they're not even the ones to beat in their own division. I'm Jim Rome.
You need parts? O'Reilly has parts. Get one free set of brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Upgrade to Brake Best Select pads for just $10. Or upgrade to Brake Best Select Pro or Import Direct pads for just $20. Product availability. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger, who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KDUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KDUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Back here on the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060. We appreciate you joining us. The phone number for you to get involved with the program. You're the co-host of the show. It's me, it's producer Evan, and it's you. 480-864-1060, your way to get involved. We've got Jeff in Tempe, who I'm surprised, producer Evan, that when you told me in my ear what Jeff wanted to talk about, I'm surprised that we're leading with somebody agreeing with me on my Diamondbacks take. I was expecting to take some heat today, but Jeff in Tempe, you agree with me. This is what producer Evan says.
Yeah, I'm frankly surprised that I still want to watch this team. After the trade deadline, I thought that I would move on to, including football, but I find myself wanting to watch these guys every single night.
Yeah, Jeff, 100% agree. And the reason why I said what I said in the opening segment is because you should enjoy this. You should want to sit down and watch this team right now with the way that they are playing. You want to clear your schedule at 5:40 tonight and watch this team take on the Rockies because they're playing good baseball. Isn't that all what we wanted to sign up for at the beginning of the season? To watch a team play good baseball? And here we are, doing a little bit of dreaming today, but isn't that what we do in sports sometimes? There's always got to be the outlier. There's always got to be the team that is the exception to the rule. And with the way this team is playing, you're allowing, maybe it's 1%, maybe it's 5%, maybe it's 10%, but you're allowing yourself to dream a little bit because at the beginning of this month, 13 days ago, you had a ball club that was 10 games out of a wild card spot. Today, they are 5.5 back. They erased 4.5 games in 13 days. They've got 41 games to go. Do I think it's going to happen? If you made me bet on it today, I would say no, because there's a way larger sample size of this team not playing this style of baseball. But that is not going to stop me from enjoying what we have seen so far this season. Or what we've seen during this stretch, I should say. An 8-4 stretch where they're playing good baseball. I'm not going to allow what happened in other places get in the way. So, producer Evan, we started today's program with a positive call. I didn't have that on the bingo card.
Neither did I, honestly. I thought for sure people were going to be getting on you.
Normally, I can kind of tell with what the take is, whether or not we're going to have agreements or I'm going to spend the whole day arguing with Brian or Michael or John. So credit to Jeff for joining the party. Welcome to the lunch break, Jeff. Believe that's the first time you've called. We welcome you back. But good on Jeff for agreeing, defending me today.
I don't think it's a crazy take either. Like I just, when you watch this team, I think they're exciting right now.
Don't plan a parade.
I'm not even telling you they're a playoff team.
Don't plan the parade route for if they're holding up the commissioner's trophy. Don't do that. That would be a mistake. That's setting yourself up for failure. But with the way they've played over the last 12 games, are you allowed to say, you know what? That those errands I was going to run, I'm going to do them earlier in the day on Saturday so that I can watch the Diamondbacks play baseball? I think you can do that.
I think so. Let me give you an example. The Phillies, I grew up, obviously, a big Phillies fan. They went through 10 years of some of the worst baseball you've ever seen. I mean, years where they would lose 100 games. But then they had Rhys Hoskins come up, and all of a sudden, Nola's pitching today. Rhys Hoskins is playing first base. Okay, I'm going to sit down and watch, and I'm going to get excited about that game. And years later, those end up being the pieces that take that team to the World Series. That's the excitement. I'm not saying they're a playoff team this year. I'm saying they have a young talent that is exciting with a core that can compete in 2026, 2027, and who knows what they could be in 2028.
And by the way, the person who should be taking the strongest victory lap on a day like today is me. I've been telling everybody, don't write off 2026. Everybody wants to fast forward to 2027. Why? You're seeing in these last 12 games every reason why you should believe that this team can be relevant in 2026. That this team can be competing for that third wild card spot, maybe the second wild card spot. That's what you want out of next season. And you are seeing it right now that this team still has the fight and you're excited to watch them. This is why I don't want to fire the manager right now. This is why I'm not giving up on 2026 and fast forwarding to 2027. And I realize no Corbin Burns, no AJ Puck, no Justin Martinez. I get all that. Still going to have Ketel Marte, still going to have Corbin Carroll, still going to have this bullpen that we're going to get to see mature over the next 2 months. If you don't think these young arms getting this big league experience in a low pressure environment is not going to be beneficial for them in 2026 or 2027, that's what this is about. And oh, by the way, winning along the journey doesn't suck either. Winning along the journey, building that character, building that winning muscle that some of these players don't have. Tyler Locklear doesn't have that winning muscle at the big league level. These bullpen arms, they don't have the winning muscle of standing on the mound in the ninth inning, needing to save a game at the big league level. Well, they're getting it now. And that's what you want to see from this squad. That is what you want to see over these 2 months. And since the trade deadline, they have done everything you could have asked them for. So get excited, enjoy this baseball team because they're playing some really good ball right now. The Cardinals are up in Denver. Joint practice, I think, is either towards the tail end or it is over between them and the Broncos. They'll play them over the weekend in their second preseason game. And I don't know, maybe it's just me. We're all jonesing for football, so I think everybody gets excited about joint practices and preseason games. And we've mentioned how little preseason matters at this stage of the NFL, even though it's maybe starting to matter a little bit more with starters playing more across the league this year. But if there's something that matters less to me than preseason football, it is joint practices. I don't care how good or bad Kyler Murray looks against another team's defense in a joint practice where they're not showing you anything. They're going very vanilla with their coverage. Everybody is protected. You're not sacking the quarterback and getting hurt. Is it could care less or couldn't care less?
It is couldn't care less.
Well, whichever one it is, that's the one that applies here. I don't care about.
Because if you could care less, you would care a lot.
If I could care less, that means
you care somewhat.
I care somewhat. I don't care at all. So I couldn't care less. I couldn't care less about who performs well in a joint practice. I couldn't care less about who looks good or bad in a joint practice. Do you want to know when joint practices become important to everybody? When there's a fight, when there's a skirmish. That's when people care about joint practices. So great. You're practicing against another team. You're not going up against, your defense. So you do have to maybe make some coaching adjustments. But do you really think Sean Payton and the Denver Broncos are showing the Cardinals their best defensively in teams today?
No, I do not.
Absolutely not. Do you think over the weekend when they play that you're going to see the best that the Denver Broncos defense has to offer?
Yes.
I don't even know if I'd go that far. You're going to see more than you're seeing in practice.
No, I'm kidding.
You're still going to see a very vanilla version of what Denver does. I guess maybe if somebody played absolutely horrific, you would worry, but even then I wouldn't worry.
I would worry if Will Johnson was getting smoked out there in practice, where he couldn't cover a lick.
Sure, but if he defended every pass thrown his way, are you going to roll out the red carpet and get him to Canton? No.
But you're asking about concern and excitement, right?
Yeah.
Are we going to roll out the red carpet and say the D-backs are a playoff team?
We are not doing that today. We're excited about the way they're playing, but we're not rolling out the red carpet today.
Are we excited that Will Johnson looks good in practice?
We would be excited if Will Johnson looks good in practice. Yes, fair. You'd rather somebody look good than bad. Granted, right? Because bad just opens up conversations and opens up questions. Granted, but I'm not going to extrapolate out of a joint practice. This guy looked bad.
I'm not saying he's an all-pro.
Ergo, bad season incoming. I'm not willing to make that leap.
Do we have any reports on how they look in this joint practice?
I saw Johnny Venerable, who covers the team for PHNX. He gave out his, he said the standouts for the Cardinals against the Broncos. So take this however you want to take it. Trey McBride, Calais Campbell, Mac Wilson, Isaiah Adams, James Conner. And that Marv got really going towards the end of team at anywhere between 4 and 5 grabs.
Nice.
Yeah,
kind of the normal.
I mean, Trey McBride looking good. Yeah, you know what? I expect that. Calais Campbell, a veteran, looking good. Yeah, I expect that. James Conner, I know Isaiah Adams is a bit of a standout.
That is one.
You can maybe get a little excited about that, but
Mac Wilson.
Do I think that means all Pro Bowl season incoming for Isaiah Adams? No,
Yeah.
I don't think that's where I'm going to make the leap. 480-864-1060, your way to join us here today on the program, whether you agree with me like Jeff or maybe you disagree. We would love to hear from you today on the program. We've also got you over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, it's a big season, big expectations, big spotlight. How good of a coach is Kenny Dillingham? That's next, the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KTUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
Right now at Mark Kia in Scottsdale, receive a 0% APR for up to 72 months on a brand new 2025 Kia Niro EV. 0%. Or you can take advantage of $12,500 in current cash incentives on the 2025 Kia EV6 and 2026 EV9.
Take advantage of this offer on our electric vehicles while we have a great selection and before these offers expire later this year.
The name to remember, Mark Kia. Mark Kia. Offer with Motor Finance. Not allowed to qualify. Offer expires September 2nd, 2025.
The legacy continues. Pantera. The heaviest tour of the summer. Tearing up Talking Sick Resort Amphitheater, August 26th. With Amon Amarth. On sale now at LiveNation.com. Part of the America First Credit Union Concert Series.
Hi, I'm Brian, your friend and jeweler here at Shane Company. Come on in, feel at home, and let's find your dream engagement ring. I'm proud to work for a company that puts customers first and lets them shop the way they want to. See, we believe shopping for an engagement ring should be fun without any of the pressure. We don't work on commission, so finding your dream ring is truly on your terms. We'll be right by your side as your friend and jeweler to help you find a ring more beautiful than you imagined and stick to your budget too. We have all of the styles and all of the smiles. You can even watch our in-house jewelers working their magic inside your neighborhood store. It's that kind of care and craftsmanship that makes Shane Company's free lifetime warranty the best in the business, saving you thousands over time and giving you peace of mind. No appointment necessary, or check us out at shaneco.com. Because a friend knows when you're ready, you're ready. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
At Nationwide Vision, we make the back-to-school season crystal clear for you and your kids. With convenient scheduling and personalized treatment plans for the whole family, we keep things simple and stress-free, so your kids can face the day with confidence. Because vision shapes learning, and learning shapes life. Get 50% off a complete pair, and give your family the clarity to thrive in every part of their journey. Schedule an appointment today to find your focus at Nationwide Vision.
Okay, quiz fans, what's one word to describe Whataburger's new prickly pear raspberry Whata-Fresher? Is the best word refreshing? Or does the real raspberry make you say tangy? Or perhaps the sweet prickly pear fruit is simply delicious? Actually, the only word to describe it is quenchy, tangy, sweet, delicious. And that may sound like 4 words, but we used hyphens. Introducing new Whata-Freshers from Whataburger. Whataburger. Available for a limited time.
Join in on the Sports Zoo on your ride home from work with Dave Rooster Bierstein. Join Rooster as he lays down what's happening around sports and makes it clear what's on his mind.
Oh, my.
Catch the day's craziest stories and some of the latest numbers from the sports books across the valley. The Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a wild option.
Weekdays 5 to 6 p.m. on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Back here on the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert here with you. Appreciate you joining us. We got buy or sell coming up in about 8 minutes from now. But I want to talk about Kenny Dillingham here for just a moment. And we tend to, on this program, dissect a lot of lists and rankings that come out in tiers. We did that earlier this week with the Athletics quarterback tiers when it came to Kyler Murray. And most of the time when I click on these lists or rankings, I tend to have an idea of where I think a team, a player should be. And then that determines my level of outrage and how amped up about it I get on the show. Just that feeds the content machine. But I'll admit to something. The Athletic put out their college football coaching tiers for 2025 today. Chris Vanini over there at The Athletic does a great job. It's not the first year that they've done this. And I saw the story, and I stopped. And I thought to myself, where would I put Kenny Dillingham? I didn't have a preconceived idea of what tier, what bucket I would put Kenny Dillingham in as a coach. I mean, last year was great. Last year was awesome. Big 12 championship, college football playoff appearance. Kenny Dillingham offensively, super creative, aggressive when he needs to be. Maybe he was aggressive last year in large part because maybe he didn't have a kicker, didn't trust the special teams game, so was aggressive. That aggressiveness paid off. But I don't know if I've ever really sat back and evaluated Kenny Dillingham as a coach, as a game manager. And I don't mean that in a pejorative way. I just mean that how does he handle himself in these late game situations, the end of game stuff, going into the half, coming out of the half, his game plan, the adjustments that he makes. How good of a coach is he? We all know the transfer portal, recruiting, and the energy level that he brings as a leader, culture setter, all of that stuff. But how good of a coach really is he? And I didn't have that answer when I clicked on this list today with the college football tiers. But very quickly, as I went through the tiers, it made sense exactly where Kenny fit. Because the first tier is two coaches, the multi-time champs, where Kirby Smart and Dabo Swinney are alone. They then have tier 2, the established winners. And I won't read you all of the names, but you have Brian Kelly, Marcus Freeman, James Franklin, Ryan Day, Steve Sarkisian, Lincoln Riley, just some of the names making up that established winners tier. And then tier 3, high-level consistency. Mario Cristobal, Matt Campbell, PJ Fleck, Luke Fickell, Mike Gundy, Lane Kiffin, just some of the names in that list. And then down in tier 4, the rising stars and steady hands. In the moment that I saw the way the tier was titled, you knew that Kenny would be there. And he's the 4th name on the list, rising 3 tiers from 2024. Was a tier 7 coach last year. Now, just to put it into context, tier 7 this year is the works in progress tier that has some coaches in it. So he's moved past that. He moved past the show me seasons ahead tier, moved past the up and down tier, and moved into the tier of the rising stars and steady hands. And I think that is a fair place to put Kenny Dillingham because I look in the tier 3. And I'm not going to ask producer Evan this because he's potentially the more biased of the two of us here on the program when it comes to ASU and Kenny Dillingham. But I think it's fair to say that you'd rather have Lane Kiffin than Kenny Dillingham right now. I think it's fair to say that you'd rather have Mike Gundy than you'd rather have Kenny Dillingham right now because of the consistency, the track record, the resume. Rhett Lashley in SMU. Mario Cristobal in Miami. Now, I'll tell you this, though. another follow-up season to the one that they had this year, you betcha he's going to be in Tier 3, and he's going to be knocking on the door of being one of those Tier 2 coaches because he would have been an established winner. You win back-to-back Big 12 championships, you are an established winner. That makes you a Tier 2 coach. So he's moving up. He's right on the doorstep of Tier 3 in my mind, and with another year where they win the Big 12, where they go to the college football playoff, you're very easily talking about one of the 10, 15 best coaches currently in college football.
He hasn't done enough. But here are the things that jump out to me when you talk about Kenny Dillingham. And you talked about Lane Kiffin. It's the second year in a row where Ole Miss has had a disappointing season.
Listen,
and they lose games they shouldn't, and they should be a playoff team.
I knew this is what you were going to do.
And-
I'm not talking bad about Kenny Dillingham.
Listen, I'm the biggest Lane Kiffin fan probably on the show. I love Lane Kiffin. But I just think in those bigger games, it's hard not to take Kenny. Does he deserve to be in that Tier 3? At this point, probably not. Do I think that he's in a position to pass a lot of those guys? Sure.
Pole position. Like leading the cars around the track. Pole position to go into Tier 2 and be towards the top of it. You just want to see more.
And you asked earlier in the question, how well has Kenny been in his game manager? And when you look at the end of game situations, there was 2 last year that stick out. And you're like, oh, that was bad.
The home game against BYU.
That was really bad.
And
there was another one, and I'm trying to remember exactly which one it was.
Can I tell you why the BYU game bothered me as much as it did? That was just trying to be cute.
It was. They should have scored.
That's just trying to do too much.
They should have scored.
Should have just scored.
Yeah. No, and we've talked about that before.
I hope that he learns from it.
He will.
And that's why.
You have to imagine.
And that's why he deserves time to build up his resume. If he learns from that, and he doesn't make that mistake again, and there's that growth, and he answers those questions, and they win, and they're successful in a year in which we said, you got to win, then he's going to be firmly, in my mind, one of the 10 or 15 best coaches in the game.
Here are the 2 most impressive stats about ASU for me last year. They played 13 games. On 10 of those games, they scored on their opening drive, 8 of which were touchdowns. They only had 2 field goals out of that. That was versus Wyoming. First game of the year, they smashed them. And Iowa State in the Big 12 championship, they smashed them. The second thing is, what's Kenny's biggest time of game that he preaches? Middle 8. Last 4 minutes.
Yep.
First 4 minutes.
Going into the half, coming out of the half.
Would you like to know what their score differential was in the middle 8?
It's probably insane.
87-16.
Yeah, they just dominated in that area.
They scored 16 touchdowns in the final 5 minutes of the half.
And the story points out that the only reason why Kenny isn't higher than Tier 4 is that it's a limited sample size. Basically saying, if he repeats what he did last year, this is one of the best coaches in college football. And to me, one really important thing we're going to get answered about Kenny, and I think all of the best coaches, the elite of the elite coaches, answer this question. How do you handle pressure? How do you handle expectations? Kirby Smart handles expectations in Georgia.
Look at all those programs. Look at what Nick Saban did with Alabama, right? Like, look at you use Georgia. Look what Dabo Sweeney does with Clemson. I mean, they are expected to win the ACC every year.
And he handles those expectations properly. And so to me, this is something that you don't always get to test. We're going to get to test Kenny in how he is handling expectations. My guess, he's going to be great at it. My guess is he's always going to be in the moment, focusing on the game at hand and never looking at the bigger picture. How do I know that? Because he played We Are the Champions every single moment of their first couple of practices to drive his players insane about the idea of nothing about this year is guaranteed. Nothing. What you did last year does not matter. Now, they've got to go out there and do it, but little things like that tell me he's going to be just fine at that stuff. And if he passes that test, he's going to be one of the best 10 or 15 coaches in college football.
I think the thing that excites me or makes me less nervous about the expectations aspect of this season is he's coached at big-time college programs, right? Florida State,
Oregon,
Auburn. Those teams constantly have expectations on him. So he's seen what that looks like, what it looks like as a failure in Florida State, what it looks like coming back with a younger quarterback at Auburn, at Oregon. So all of that he has gone through, and I think that there's excitement and a level of experience that people aren't giving him credit for.
We're just around the corner. We are 16 days away from the season opening for Arizona State.
10 days from week 0.
10 days from week 0. Can't wait for college football to be here. You want to join us on the program? 480-864-1060 is the phone number. We've also got you over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. Hey, listen, for your chance to win 4 tickets to the Diamondbacks when they take on the Cincinnati Reds, Friday, August 22nd at Chase Field. It is Hispanic Heritage Weekend, Friday, August 22nd. There's a post-game concert afterwards. You can get meet and greet and concert field passes. They're available. Just go to dbacks.com/SGT. We've got your chance to get tickets for listening on the KDUS AM 1060 app or streaming KDUS1060.com. When we come back, we wrap up hour number 1, buy or sell, the hottest takes in sports talk radio. Producer Evan has them. I'm buying or selling those takes next. It's the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio is your hub for everything high school and college sports. Join Vince and friends as they give you the full picture on student athletes and where they're heading. Live interviews with coaches across the valley.
Asking some of the tough questions.
Varsity recaps and in-depth interviews with tomorrow's sports stars. The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio. Live every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. Here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Lincoln Park. From Zero World Tour 2025. You ready? Yes, you cut me open just to watch me. Live in Phoenix. Footprint Center, Saturday, September 6th, with special guest Gene Dawson. Get tickets now at livenation.com. For more, visit lincolnpark.com.
It's Halloween time, and the Disneyland Resort's 70th celebration is here. Spooky delights are brewing, with spine-tingling cheer. A pinch of pumpkin, a dash of fright, a flicker of joy to paint the night. Watch as a giant Mickey pumpkin, a headless horseman, and happy haunts have a ball. Cars Land becomes Radiator Screams. Plus, there are seasonal favorites like Haunted Mansion Holiday and Guardians of the Galaxy, Monsters After Dark. Enjoy tricks, treats, and a ghostly invitation. This happy Halloween, join the Disneyland Resort's 70th celebration. Halloween time, August 22nd through October 31st. Visit Disneyland.com or contact your travel advisor for important details.
Things are heating up, but the deals at McDonald's are very cool. Get any size soft drink or sweet tea for $1.39. Whether you reach for a crisp Diet Coke, ice cold Sprite, or fruity Fanta Orange, you've got options. There's a size for any occasion, like a quick sip in the car, an afternoon energy boost, or the perfect add-on to a meal. So swing by, cool off, and grab a summer sip with a $1.39 refreshment. Only at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or complement. Diet Coke, Fanta, and Sprite are registered trademarks of the Coca-Cola Company.
James Out West, your home for sports down here in the desert. Join James and Pat the Stat Guy as they recap the weekend and dive deep into the numbers for the NFL, NBA, college sports, and more.
That's 5 seasons of 1,200 yards.
Player stats, team numbers, and contracts are just the start of the discussion for James and Pat.
He started 815 career games. He threw 749 complete games.
There's no hiding when it comes to stats. It's James Out West every Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Let's get right into it. Buy or sell here to wrap up hour number 1 of the program. It's usually 4 or 5 takes that producer Evan has put together, and I have to either buy or sell them, although I did something pretty aggressive earlier in the week. I put a take on layaway until next season.
Yeah. And we've put takes on layaway before.
For like a week or
for
two.
like 3 days.
I asked for 6 months.
It was aggressive. It was certainly aggressive.
What was the take? I forget. It was something.
It was
Diamondbacks.
Corbin Carroll will win an MVP in his career.
Oh, and I wanted to put it on layaway because I wanted to see if there was an approach change again at the start of next season. Yes, I remember. Go ahead.
The D-backs may not make the playoffs, but will finish as the first or second team out.
See, this is where you just got to pump the brakes just a touch here. I'm going to sell this. Let's just pump the brakes. Enjoy what we're watching. Have fun. You want to get involved and do a little bit of early scoreboard watching, see who other teams are playing, go right ahead. But to predict exactly where this team's going to finish, just as easily as they've gone 8-4 during this stretch, they could make you want to rip your hair out by splitting the series over the weekend against the Rockies and losing 2 games that they shouldn't lose, right? All part of the range of outcomes over the weekend.
Do you want me to tell you where they currently sit?
They are team number 3 on the
Team
outside
number 3,
looking in, right? Yeah.
5.5 back, 1.5 back of St. Louis, 4.5 back of Cincinnati. You do play Cincinnati in 2 weeks.
Yeah, 3-game series. Whereas if we want to do the thing and we want to look ahead if this team's going to continue to play well, could be a really important series.
By the way, Cincinnati, they have great pitching.
Well, and you know who they just got back.
Hunter Green.
Hunter Green just
And
returned.
I
and
know he was dominant yesterday.
Was electric last night.
Yeah.
So if you want to win in August and September, you got to have pitching that posts every single night. And Cincinnati right now is getting that.
The Cardinals will likely have the starters get a series or 2 in the second preseason.
Do we know if the starters are going to play over the weekend?
I looked on Twitter. I didn't see anything.
One would assume that if they played in the first preseason game,
They would play in the second.
They'll get a little bit of time, and then maybe they get backed off in that third preseason game. Although this year, with the way teams are approaching preseason, who knows? Would I like to see them play some preseason? Yes, I would.
You want to see them play again?
I would like to see them take a little bit more of the rust off. Do I think it's going to solve everything? Do I think it's an indicator of future success? No. But instead of having that rust in September, or at least all of the rust in September, if you can shake a little of it off here in preseason, you just have to accept the risk that comes with it. And so far, it appears teams across the NFL are willing to accept that risk.
It does feel like more teams are having their starters play. Also, I would love to see the quarterback look at where he's throwing it. Just wanted to put that out.
Yeah, let's tone it down on the Patrick Mahomes no-look passes.
The NFC West could be the most interesting division to watch in football.
This is take thievery by you. Did I not outline this earlier this week or at the end of last week? Did I not say out loud that this is one of the few divisions, if the only division of football, where all 4 teams are going for it? This is take thievery.
This is not take thievery.
You are stealing a take that I had earlier on the program this week.
I don't think this is take thievery.
Well, of course I'm buying the take because I'm the person.
Just because all 4 teams are going for it doesn't mean it's interesting.
You've got a team that I don't know if their starting quarterback's going to play week 1.
What do you mean?
Is Matt Stafford playing week 1 for the Rams?
Oh, you're saying for the yeah. I think he's playing. Though a slip disc is bad.
How about this? You ready for this?
That's really bad.
You ready for this take? This is being a radio host right here. Michael Parsons plays in a game for the Dallas Cowboys before Matthew Stafford plays in a game for the Los Angeles Rams. Now that's how you do buy or sell. Buy or sell that.
You want to hear something even crazy?
I would like you to answer the take that I presented to you.
I'll buy that.
Like. You're buying that Michael Parsons plays in a game for the Cowboys before Matthew Stafford plays in a game for the Rams.
Yeah. How about this? Jalen Milroe gets a snap in the NFL before Matthew Stafford plays in a game.
So now we're just lobbing these back and forth. Okay, I see what we're doing here. Jalen Milroe plays in a game before Stafford?
Yes.
I'll sell that take.
No way. You don't think they have some kind of Milroe package up their sleeve?
Appear in a game?
Takes a snap.
Yeah. Starts a game, no.
I agree. But takes a snap?
They're going to have a package for Milroe.
Did you see? I saw in practice there looks like they already do have a package put in place.
Of course.
I mean, he's a dynamic weapon with this guy. This guy is a football player.
You know what so dynamic weapon and football player, you know what that tells me? Can't play quarterback. When you use those phrases to describe a quarterback before saying, really good processing speed, good arm strength, got good accuracy, good
You don't think
vision.
that's what they said about Lamar?
I'll tell you, that's exactly what they say about Taysom Hill. And he's not a quarterback.
There's no coach that you would rather have for ASU
We got 20
than Kenny
seconds left.
Dillingham.
He's hitting me with a take. Bye. Yes. I don't have enough time to unpack that, but bye. Hour number 1 of the program in the books. Hour number 2 next.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Head coach Brian Wright and the Lumberjacks are setting a new standard in Flagstaff.
Happy with our attitude, our effort, how we've come together as a football team.
Join us Saturday, August 30th. The Lumberjacks invade Arizona State to battle the Sun Devils. Our coverage begins at 6 on your home for Lumberjack football.
Skips his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Lumberjacks.
The NAU Lumberjacks Sports Network from Learfield.
9 Inch Nails. Live at Footprint Center, September 16th. Get tickets now at NIN.com. 9 Inch Nails, live in Phoenix. Peel It Back World Tour 2025.
Hi, welcome to IKEA. Hi, I'm in a whirlwind of college prep. Gotcha. We've got affordable solutions to create the perfect college living space. Great. And visit our website to see how verified college students with an IKEA family account can receive a one-time use 15% off coupon. Nice. You guys think of everything. Pretty much. Offer ends 9/30/25. Valid ID required. Discount applied proportionally across items purchased as shown on receipt. See IKEA-USA.com/ready for college for complete terms.
One night, 2 incredible bands, Fuel. Lit. Ignited We Stand Tour 2025. Saturday, August 23rd, the Edge Pavilion in Laughlin, Nevada. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss Fuel and Lit together live. Brought to you by the Edge Pavilion in Laughlin, Nevada.
Hey, it's Big Cat from the Pardon My Take podcast. If you're looking for a drink that keeps the fun going without weighing you down, pick up some Truly Hard Seltzer. It's crazy refreshing, comes in tons of different flavors, and has only 100 calories per serving. Truly makes it easy to keep the fun going with your crew, which is exactly why it's the official hard seltzer of Pardon My Take. Whether you're out with friends, hosting a game day at home, or just kicking back, grab a Truly Hard Seltzer. Pick it up at your local Total Wine, Walmart, or Circle K, because there's always a lot of party left, Phoenix.
The UPS Store has high-quality, industry-approved packaging materials. So stop by and get 15% off packing materials and protect it with our pack and ship guarantee. Visit the upsstore.com/guarantee or location near you for full details.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Hour number 2 of the lunch break here on KDUS AM 1060, streaming on the KDUS AM 1060 app. Chris Schubert with you. Producer Evan is behind the glass. He's taking your phone calls today. 480-864-1060 is your way to join us here on the program. Want to dive back into football. The Cardinals, their next preseason game coming up over the weekend against the Denver Broncos. They are in Denver right now. A joint practice today with the Broncos. We reflected in hour number 1 of the program about joint practices and how much value you can really put into them. I'm not a huge fan. I'm not somebody who takes reports of how good or bad a player looked in joint practices during training camp and extrapolate much from that data. But teams do like to see how they stack up against other opponents, other teams, other coaches. Change of pace from always going against your own guys like you're going to do throughout the course of the season in the lead up to games. So travel, get up there, get a joint practice in. There's just something about doing things differently at some point during training camp or preseason that coaches seem to like. So that was underway earlier today. But I want to talk about a player that I think, and maybe this is my fault, and maybe I need to apologize for this, but a player that's not getting talked enough about going into the 2025 season. And I think it's because he plays on the side of the ball where there was so much roster turnover this offseason. And he's one of the guys that's been here. He's one of the guys that was drafted by this organization. He's one of the guys that they didn't spend big money on. He's not Josh Sweat. He's not Calais Campbell. He's not Dalvin Tomlinson. He's not Will Johnson or Walter Nolan. He's not Darius Robinson, a draft pick from a year ago. Now, producer Evan does not know the player that I want to talk about right now. I kept him in the dark on this to see if, in the way that I described this player, in saying who he's not, that he wasn't one of the big free agent acquisitions, that he wasn't a notable draft pick over the last 2 drafts, or a notable draft pick of Monty Ossenfort. If it's obvious who I want to talk about, because he may be the most underrated player on this defense, and he may be in line to be one of the more important players on this defense this season. While we're talking about Josh Sweat and the impact that he's going to have, raising the floor of the pass rushers, while we're talking about Calais Campbell and Dalvin Tomlinson and what they're going to do for the interior of the defensive line, when we're talking about youngsters like Darius Robinson and Walter Nolan and Will Johnson and the impact that those guys can have defensively, this player might be in line to have a career year. This player might be in line to surprise us all and have that breakout season that everybody likes to try to predict before the year. Now, producer Evan has a puzzled look on his face. In going through that whole explanation, is there a player that jumped out off the page for you? If you're wrong, you're wrong. I did not tell you this before the show. You're just throwing a dart at a dartboard. But
I really have no idea.
I named a bunch of players that it's not. There is one player that I think we have not talked about enough, and perhaps that's my fault. Had a solid year last year, had the most sacks that he's had in his 4 seasons with the Cardinals.
Gosh.
I want to talk about Zaven Collins. That's the player that I want to talk about right now. I want to talk about a guy who last year for this team, in year 4, had 5 sacks, a career high. The previous 2 years, 5.5 sacks. The first 3 years of his career, 5.5 sacks. And last season, he pulls together a career year with 5 sacks, playing all 17 games as an outside linebacker. And now I think with Josh Sweat in the cards, with Josh Sweat raising the floor of that pass rush group and all of the attention that is going to be paid to him. And guess what? Zaven Collins, he would like to cash in on a big contract, no? Whether it's here or someplace else. Whether it's with the Arizona Cardinals or someplace else. He signed that 2-year extension in 2024 that's taking him through next season. So this is his age 26 year. He's got 1 year left on the deal. He's going to make about $6 million next year, $4 million next year. He's going to count against the cap for $6 million at 27 years old in the last year on this extension that he signed. And he has gotten better and better every single year. No sacks his rookie year, 2 sacks the year after that, 3.5 sacks the year after that. And last year he peaked 5 sacks. And now a group that, let's say the pass rush was not good last year. Let's just call it like it is. This was a pass rush that left so much to be desired. And Zaven Collins was a part of that. But now that you've added Sweat, you've added Campbell, you've added Tomlinson, so many resources defensively for other teams is going to be focused on those guys. It's going to be focused on Darius Robinson. It's going to be focused on Walter Nolan and Baron Browning. And I think Zaven Collins is in a position. Nobody's talking about him. Nobody's paying attention to him. Ask somebody to talk about the Arizona Cardinal defense. See how long it takes them to mention Zaven Collins' name. It's going to take a while. It's going to take a little bit. I think Zaven Collins is going to have a big year in 2025. I think this is a year that with Josh Sweat as his running mate on the other side, with the investments on the interior of the defensive line, there are going to be more opportunities presented to Zaven Collins to maybe have 8 sacks, maybe have 10 sacks. Because if you're an opposing defense, are you going to pay more attention to Josh Sweat or Zaven Collins? If you're an opposing defense, are you going to pay more attention to Calais Campbell and Dalvin Tomlinson and Darius Robinson or Zaven Collins?
No doubt he's going to have the least attention from an offense on him than he has ever had. Ever.
That's what gets me excited about him having a breakout year. Nobody is paying attention to him. And in this defense, in this scheme, where they're now going to be able to move him around and find him looks because everyone's paying attention to Josh Sweat, and they've got more. See, this is why what the Cardinals did this offseason in investing so many resources defensively was such a benefit for them. Because now they have maneuverability. They have one of my favorite words that we use on this program, flexibility. They can move guys all over the place. Jonathan Gannon can move. He can put Sweat on this side. He can put Sweat here. He can put Zaven Collins there. He can line up Darius Robinson over on this corner. And he can do whatever he wants defensively because he has a full complement of pieces that fit this system, that have the skill set that JG and Nick Rallis are looking for. And Rallis, that defense last year exceeded expectations without having a pass rush. They're going to have a pass rush this year. They're going to have multiple guys that he's going to be able to let loose and get after the quarterback, both on the outside and up the middle through the interior. Zaven Collins may be the most underrated defender for this Cardinals team in 2025 going into 2026. No one's talking about him. Nobody's talking about him. No one's really talking about Baron Browning all that much. All the focus is on the new guys, the new shiny toys. How about this quote from Nick Rallis that he gave to the Arizona Cardinals website talking about Zaven Collins? Quote, "I do put a lot on Zaven's plate and a handful of other guys due to a combination of intelligence and skill set. Zaven says that, but he's down for anything," end quote. You don't think Nick Rallis is going to try to put Zaven Collins in a position to succeed every chance he gets because he's one of the players that he trusts anywhere on the field, in any spot, in any scenario, in any play design because of the intelligence and the skill set? Because he's moved all over the place. According to True Media, Zaven Collins played 14 different spots last season of at least one snap. Now, producer Evan, this predates, I think, your time here in Arizona. Maybe it doesn't. I can remember a time where the Cardinals drafted a player super high in the first round, and their goal was to move him all over the place. And he played at a prolific program, Clemson University.
Met him at a Topgolf, actually. He was in the bay next to me.
Name Isaiah Simmons. The idea behind Isaiah Simmons was he was going to be a chess piece. He was going to be a Swiss Army knife, was going to be able to move all over the place. Never really worked.
I'll be honest with you. He was a guy watching at Clemson that just, to me, was can't miss.
Oh, no doubt.
Was can't miss.
Nobody
saw what he was in the NFL.
Nobody
saw that coming.
Nobody was shocked that he got taken where he did in the first round of that draft. Nobody thought he was going to be a bust. They thought the versatility meant he was going to be able to stick somewhere at some point, and it just didn't work.
I mean, he was fast enough that you could play him at linebacker. You could have played him at edge. You could have dropped him into coverage and given yourself looks there. He was what we thought was going to be one of the most versatile defenders. I thought he could be what Micah Parsons is on the edge. I really did.
And so they take Isaiah Simmons with the 8th overall pick in 2020. And then the next year they kind of double down because pick 16 was Zaven Collins, a player that didn't really have a home, didn't really have a position. Where were you going to play him? Were you going to stand him up? Were you going to put his hand in the dirt? Was he going to be a true linebacker? Was he going to be a pass rusher? Didn't know. So 2 straight years you gambled, you rolled the dice. Zaven's still here. Isaiah, Do you know what team Isaiah Simmons is on right now?
He was on the Giants there for a little. Is he still there?
I don't. All I have when you look at his Pro Football Reference page is the 3 years that he spent in Arizona and the 2 years he spent the last 2 seasons with the Giants as a safety for them.
Very interesting. He's on the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, that's right. If I would have just read this, there's this little section on Pro Football
Isaiah
Reference.
Simmons is an American professional football linebacker for the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, I didn't even need the Wikipedia page. If you just look at the Pro Football Reference page at the top, it says what team he's currently on. Just right there, it says team. I just missed that. Green Bay Packers right there. Just missed it. But that's what they wanted Isaiah Simmons to be. And then they doubled down and took Zaven Collins the next year. And it took a while, man. It took a while. And I still don't think Zaven Collins has reached his potential. He hasn't maxed out what he can be in this league. Perhaps this is the year. Perhaps in this system, this scheme, in this role that they have for him, and now with this supporting cast around him. Do I think Zaven Collins is going to be a number one option that's just going to wreak havoc all over the place? I do not. We would have seen it already. But do I think he can be a really good number 2, maybe number 3, that puts up some really solid numbers in a good scheme? Yes. That's exactly how I would describe his current setup, his current situation for this Cardinals defense. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. We've also got you over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, we continue to power rank the NFC West. Today, it's the linebackers. That's next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KDUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KDUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Baseball is all about stepping up to the plate when it matters most. And when you've been injured, you need a heavy hitter in your corner. At Morgan & Morgan, we don't back down. We fight to get you every dollar you deserve. No curveballs, no strikeouts, just results. That's why we've recovered over $25 billion for our clients and fight for them from offices nationwide. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, proud sponsor of the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
The Mazda More to Move You sales event is going on now at Mark Mazda in Scottsdale. Right now, receive 1.9% financing for up to 60 months on the brand new 2025 Mazda CX-50 or CX-50 Hybrid.
Or receive $10,000 off the top of MSRP when you lease a brand new 2025 Mazda CX-70 or CX-90 plug-in hybrid. Think of how low your payment will be with those savings. Go to markmazdascottsdale.com.
The name to remember, Mark Mazda, Mark Mazda, on approved credit plus $998 doc fee.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know it's not just a car, it also drives your children's dreams. So whether you're going to soccer practice, robotics club, or opening night in the school play, we help protect those dreams. Save up to 23% when you bundle auto and home. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hey, Goodwill treasure hunters. Join us on Monday, August 18th for 50% off, so you can tell everyone I got it at Goodwill. That's right. For one day only, your neighborhood Goodwill is offering 50% off the hundreds of thousands of unique items arriving in store daily. Plus, we're even extending store hours from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. So get ready to shop and donate at Goodwill and get half off treasures like clothing, decor, and more only on Monday, August 18th from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. See you at Goodwill.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. We've hit that part of the baseball season where every pitch, every out, every series feels a little heavier. With just under 2 months until October, the standings are starting to tighten and the pressure starting to rise. The Blue Jays are clinging to a lead in the East, the Red Sox and Yankees right behind them. In the West, the Astros trying to hold off the streaky Mariners and the still dangerous Rangers. Over in the NL, things are just as intense. You have the Phillies, one of the most complete teams in baseball, can't shake the Mets. Dodgers and Padres, 2 teams loaded with talent and urgency, going blow for blow. There's still time, of course, but not much. A cold week could sink a contender.
A hot one could launch a wild card hopeful into the spotlight. These are the dog days, but they do matter. The postseason picture isn't set. It's being painted in real time. And if you blink, you might miss the moment your team's season turns one way or another. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. You ever find yourself walking up to your car and thinking, I don't know, should I get that fixed? A dent from maybe backing out too quickly, scratch from the shopping cart at the grocery store, the bumper you swear wasn't hanging like that last month. You brush it off. You kind of look elsewhere when you're walking by your car. You tell yourself it's not a big deal. But over time, those little things start to stack up. They can turn into bigger problems. You don't need a new car. Your car just needs a fresh start. That's where Maaco comes in. They make it really easy. Maaco works with your budget, gets the job done fast, and backs it all up with a national warranty. They even give you a free estimate when you stop by your local Maaco. Maaco's been doing it for over 50 years. They've helped millions of drivers get back on the road with confidence, and they can do the same for you. Go in, get the free estimate, find out how long it'll take to get the job done, and it's all backed up with that national warranty. And just remember, better get Maaco.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KDUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
We continue our preview of the NFC West here on the show. Yesterday, we started the defense looking at the defensive linemen. Today, we switched to the linebacker group. And let me tell you something right now. This group's not very good. Across the entire division, there's maybe
really bad.
There's one notable player.
One. Who's old.
Right. And depending on how you want to deal with that team's either number one or you move them down a peg. But I don't really know if there's a team that you should put in front of them. This is one of the harder groups. This is so hard because they're all so bad. And this is just personal preference. This is just which players you personally like. There's no statistical justification that you can really use here. So just to recap as we enter into the linebacker group here today. And tomorrow we'll do corners. The Rams lead the way with 8 points. Reminder, lowest number of points is best here. The 49ers are in second. They have 13 total points. The Cardinals are in third with 15 total points. And the Seahawks are bringing up the rear with 20 total points. Do you want to start?
I can start.
I don't want to start because I don't like my list.
Okay. Last I have in fourth place as the worst linebacker group.
So just real quick, because in other positions, we've mentioned this idea that the team that's in fourth is just because the teams in front of them are really good. No, the team in fourth, like you're really bad because this is not a good position group in this division.
Really bad. Cardinals. I have the Cardinals here at fourth.
Really?
I do. Yeah.
Not a fan of Mac Wilson, huh?
He's fine. Does anybody here really give you the? Yes, that's our guy.
No, but okay. I hate to answer your question with a question. But is there any team that you feel that way about?
No.
I feel that way about all four teams.
No, there isn't. But I think the Cardinals are the worst of the group. I think even they added a little bit of depth.
And they got Cody Simon in the draft this year.
And they got Cody Simon, who I don't really know what Cody Simon's going to be. I thought that was a tad of a reach. Listen, it's going to be hard ranking all four of these groups. I put the Cardinals last.
They signed Akeem Davis-Gaither in the offseason from the Bengals. They have Michael Walker.
Because signing a former Bengal is a really great idea.
Especially on the defense side of the ball. I do not have the Cardinals in fourth. I have the Rams in fourth. Do you have the Rams higher than third?
The Rams, no, I have them third.
Okay, so we at least are close in how we feel about the Rams. Omar Spates is fine. Nate Landman is okay. And I have the I have the PFF grades. Let me pull them up.
To me, Spates though played a lot as a rookie.
Yeah.
And you talked about like the floor versus ceiling thing.
Yeah.
I think he is the highest ceiling.
He was the highest grade. He was one of the highest graded rookie linebackers in 2024. He had a 69.4 overall PFF grade. Only Peyton Wilson and Edgerrin Cooper rated better than him, but wasn't great in coverage, wasn't great as a pass rusher, was good against the run and a good tackler. But what brought him down was the pass rush and the coverage stuff.
And they brought in Landman from the Falcons.
From the Falcons, they have Troy Reeder. They have Chris Paul Jr., who they drafted. I don't believe related to the former point guard of the Phoenix Suns, Chris Paul, but Chris Paul Jr.
Can you imagine if Chris Paul's son was playing NFL linebacker?
It would be different if Chris Paul Jr. was playing offensive line and he was, 6'7", 320.
Linebackers aren't small.
No,
he's not playing slot receiver.
No, he's 6'1", 235, so he's not large.
Yeah, that's fair. I think they have a higher ceiling than the Cardinals, and that's why I put them 3.
Okay, I have Seattle 3.
I have Seattle 2.
Seattle 2. So we both have San Francisco 1 and mainly, let me be completely transparent with the audience. San Francisco is number 1 because they have Fred Warner. That's it. It's the only reason why they're the number 1 team. They have a all-pro, Pro Bowler at that position. Nobody else has them. I know Fred Warner is old. I know he's not the player that he was a couple years ago. He's clearly the best player at this position. That carried the day for me.
Yep. That's it.
I have Arizona 2, just for the record. I put Arizona 2. I like Mac Wilson a lot. So that's what's driving me to have the Cardinals at number 2.
I don't dislike Mac Wilson. The rest of the group is bad. It's really bad.
It is.
And I think the Rams have probably a higher ceiling. And I like Seattle's depth more. They just have more guys that I trust at the position than just one.
This is the rare time where I have to do a lot of math. The 49ers have the 1 spot.
So they get 1 point.
So I have the Cardinals 2, you have the Cardinals 4. So that would be 6 total points divided by 2. That's an average of 3. The Seahawks, you have second, I have third. That's 5.
But
divided by 2 is 2.5. So that's 2.5. I have the Rams 4th, you have the Rams 3rd. That's 7, that's 3.5. So it is San Francisco, Seattle, Arizona, the Rams.
San Francisco,
Seattle,
Arizona,
the Rams. That feels fair.
That feels very fair.
That feels fair. When you average it out, I'm higher on the Cardinals. You were lower on the Cardinals. You were higher on the Seahawks. We were close on the Rams. And so we split the difference. The Cardinals move down. Seahawks move up to where you had them. And that's the way the points get allocated.
I think that's fair.
Overall, the point I want to share with everybody, this group's not very good.
Oh, very bad.
This group is not very good.
Very bad.
Way more excited to do the corners tomorrow.
By the way, very funny. When you were looking at the grades, I pulled up the PFF grades as well.
Yes.
Would you like to know where the groups are ranked? Seattle's 24, the Rams are 26, and the Cardinals are 29.
Okay, again, that's just personal preference, throwing a dart at a dartboard.
And again, the Niners are like all the way up at 7.
But it's because of Fred Warner.
And it's just having Fred Warner as the centerpiece merits a high spot for this ranking.
This group's not very good. So it's basically you put San Francisco at 1, and then you order the rest of the groups on personal preference. So now I have to give San Francisco 1 point. I have to give the Rams, I have to give Seattle 2 points. Wow, best group for Seattle in a while. Since wide receivers, this is their best group. Arizona gets 3 points, and the Rams get 4 points. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So the way things stand right now, the Rams are still in first with 12 points. The 49ers are in second with 14 points. The Cardinals have 18 points. And the Seahawks have 22 points. So it's starting to tighten up here a little bit with 2 position groups left to go.
I'm excited for tomorrow.
Excuse me, 3 position groups: corners, safeties, special teams. And we'll do kickers, punters, return. We'll do all that stuff.
I'll be honest with you.
Okay.
Just given the first preseason game, special teams.
The Cardinals, right? Don't be overly biased based on what happened in that first preseason game. But
it was bad.
It was not great. The multiple fumbles certainly. Other teams didn't give us a bad first impression the way that the Cardinals group did.
No, they did not.
I do wonder if at some point we have to go back and redo the quarterbacks if Stafford's not going to play.
I think we might have to.
Because right now we have them as the number 1 team.
What was the actual list?
It was Rams, 49ers, Cardinals, Seahawks in that order. 1, 2, 3, 4, nobody tied.
Gosh. Yeah. I don't know how much I want to put Purdy first.
But you're going to have to. I think there's a world where the Rams go to the back of the line and everybody moves up a spot.
I think that's exactly how
I would take Sam Darnold over Jimmy G right now.
Yes.
I would take Kyler over Jimmy G right now.
Yes.
And that would change a lot. That adds 3 more points. That changes the points for a lot of these teams. If we did that, we're not doing that. At least not right now until we get more information on Matthew Stafford. If we did that right this second, it would change a lot. I think the Rams would slip all the way. They would slip behind the 49ers and the Cardinals in the division.
Yeah, certainly.
I meant numerically, points-wise, because they're going to go from only having 1 point to 4 points. They're going to lose 3 points, and every other team is going to gain a point that they're going to be able to remove.
Oh.
So points-wise, that would be a huge swing for the Rams to go from first to last if we did that. It would be a huge swing. So that's why
It would put the Niners in first, wouldn't it?
Well, the Rams. So we're going to do.
Because it would be a 3-point swing.
It would be a 3-point swing for the Rams. They would go from right now having 12 points to having 15 points. The 49ers right now have 14 points,
and they would get 15.
They would lose a point because they would move up a spot. So they would go from 14 to 13 points. So they would be first in the division. The Cardinals right now are at 18 points. They would go down to 17 points and be only 2 points behind the Rams for second place.
Yeah, that'd be a huge swing.
Huge swing. That's why we do the work. We do the work. We'll see how it ends up, and then we'll make a determination. So tomorrow, it's corners, then we have safeties, and then special teams. 3 more for us to do. Middle of next week, you will have a numerical number that tells you who we think the best team in the division is. You want to join us here today on the program? 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us. We've also got you on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream as well. When we come back, feels like forever since we've talked some Phoenix Suns basketball. How good can this team actually be? That's next on the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Join in on the Sports Zoo on your ride home from work with Dave Rooster Bierstein. Join Rooster as he lays down what's happening around sports and makes it clear what's on his mind.
Oh, my.
Catch the day's craziest stories and some of the latest numbers from the sports books across the valley. The Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a wild option.
Weekdays 5 to 6 p.m. on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Class is back in session, and so is Phoenix Rising. Celebrate the start of the school year on Saturday, August 23rd at 7:30 p.m. as Phoenix Rising takes on Colorado Springs in the back-to-school match. It's a night for students, families, and fans of all ages to come together and kick off the new season in style. Tickets start at just $15. Grab yours now at phxrisingfc.com. New school year, same rising energy.
The Offspring. Supercharged worldwide in 25. One unforgettable summer night. The Offspring, live in Phoenix. With special guests, Jimmy Eat World and Newfound Glory. Playing Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater August 27th. Get tickets now at livenation.com. 3 great bands. 1 incredible show. Part of the America First Credit Union Concert Series.
2 years ago, Bobby Carpenter completed treatments for knee pain at QC Kinetics. So we're checking in with the former college and pro football player to see how he's doing.
I've been asked a lot, like, how long does this last? How long does it work? I go, I've had mine for a couple years and everything feels very good. It feels just as good as it did when I started to turn the corner.
Bobby's an active husband, dad, and business owner. That's why 2 years ago, he heard about QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative treatments, and he knew he could trust them for his chronic knee pain.
And thankfully with QC Kinetics, I was able to go through this, and my activities are the same as it was. I'm able to coach my kids in sports. I can play golf. I can go run.
QC Kinetics patients like Bobby don't miss a beat. No surgery or rehab, just freedom from debilitating joint pain. Ready for lasting relief from joint pain? Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation and see if you're a good candidate.
Call QC Kinetics, 602-837-PAIN. That's 602-837-PAIN. 602-837-PAIN.
At Cox, we're always a step ahead, like your dog who barks before the doorbell rings. Senses trouble before there's trouble, like advanced security that blocks online threats before they happen and knows when the peanut butter's hiding medicine. That's why we keep surprises off your bill. With Price Lock, the price of your internet and mobile plan won't go up for up to 3 years guaranteed. Rates are Berkelot. Cox, a step ahead. Requires at least 500 megabits per second speeds and gig unlimited mobile. Taxes and fees excluded from Price Lock. Mobile data speeds reduced after 20 gigs.
Hi, I'm Andrew the Homebuyer. Selling your house right now the traditional way isn't so easy. The average home is taking months to sell. Fortunately, I can help. I'll come to your home and give you a cash offer within minutes. Then we can close in under 5 days. And I'll make sure you get as much money for your house as possible. Call me, Andrew the Homebuyer, today, and let's get your home sold. Visit AndrewTheHomebuyer.com. That's AndrewTheHomebuyer.com.
The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alicio is your hub for everything high school and college sports. Join Vince and friends as they give you the full picture on student athletes and where they're heading. Live interviews with coaches across the valley.
Asking some of the tough questions.
Varsity recaps and in-depth interviews with tomorrow's sports stars. The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alicio. Live every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. Here on KTUS AM 1060 and on the KTUS 1060 app.
We spent plenty of time this offseason, this summer, talking about how good of an offseason Suns have had. Feels like they got the right coach. Love a lot of the personnel decisions that they've made. Feels like a better roster. But how good are they going to be? How good is this team going to be next season on paper? We all know what their win total is in Vegas, 31.5. It's on the board behind me. We are taking the over here on the program. We are believers. We are
the alignment.
We're in. This team wins more than 31.5 games, 32 wins or more on the table for the Phoenix Suns next season. But where does that leave them in the Western Conference? Well, Gerald Bourguet over at PHNX late last night put out his NBA power rankings, an early look at where the Suns stack up in the loaded West. So just looking at the Western Conference. At 15, you have the Jazz, who have a projected win total of 18.5. In 14th, you had the Pelicans, a projected win total of 29.5. In 13th, he put the Sacramento Kings, who have a win total in Vegas of 35.5. In 12th, he put Portland at 33.5. And at 11, he put your Phoenix Suns with their projected win total over-under being 31.5. And compared to the other teams before them, a lot of names under the key additions and a lot of names under the key losses for the Phoenix Suns. A lot of activity this offseason for the Suns. I think we all know that. We lived it. Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, gone. Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, Mark Williams, in. The rookies, Fleming, Brea, Malawach, all brought in the draft. Now, I want to read this quote from Gerald, this passage, because I think it sums up how we all should feel about this upcoming season. Quote, I sincerely hope that I'm wrong, and there is a path for the Suns to be the surprise team in the West. Now that he's been handed the reins again, if Devin Booker goes back to playing like a top 10 player, if Jalen Green tweaks his game to fit alongside Book, if Mark Williams stays healthy enough to build on a skill set that is much needed in Phoenix, if Ryan Dunn and Oso Ighodaro make strides in year 2, if Dylan Brooks adds perimeter defense, shooting, and swagger, and if rookies like Malawach, Fleming, or Brea find ways to contribute, maybe they could reach the playoffs. End quote. I agree wholeheartedly with what Gerald is saying there. I do think this team could be on the fringes of making the playoffs. And oh, by the way, by power ranking them the 11th best team in the West, aren't you saying that they're knocking on the doorstep of one team underperforming or one team having an injury derail them? And then the Suns are in the play-in tournament. And guess what? I know, according to producer Evan, it doesn't count. According to producer Evan, it is not the playoffs if you make the play-in tournament. But boy, wouldn't we all enjoy being in the play-in tournament next year compared to what happened last year? The play-in tournament, this team's not good enough to snub their nose at the play-in tournament. This franchise right now can't be dreaming bigger than the play-in tournament. Let's just get back to participating. 20 teams make it in anyway. Let's be one of those 20. Let's not be one of the 10 that don't make the postseason. And here's where I'll disagree a little bit with Gerald. A lot of these ifs, I think, are going to happen. I think Dylan Brooks is going to bring perimeter defense, shooting, and swagger to this team. That's what he's brought everywhere he's gone. He's going to bring that here to Phoenix. And I don't think all of the rookies need to pan out and be major contributors, but can one of them exceed expectations? You've got 3 of them that you really believe in. You've got 3 of them that are going to draw into the lineup, into the rotation, find minutes. Is Devin Booker going to go back to being a top 10 player? It's his team. Nobody else but him. Is that really the same type of if as Mark Williams staying healthy? Is that the same kind of if as Ryan Dunn and Oso Ighodaro making strides in year 2? Is Devin Booker becoming a top 10 player in the NBA that far off of an if? Or is it closer to being a certainty? Or is it closer to being likely? I think there are a number of these ifs that are going to happen. And if just a couple of them happen, if just a couple of them break the Suns' way, we're talking about a team that's matching what they did last year. And last year they went 36-46. They're flying over their win total by a handful of games. And if Malawach and Fleming and Brea give you more than you anticipate, if Oso and Ryan Dunn do both take those next steps, and Devin Booker is the top 10 player that he's been in the past, who's to say they can't just be knocking on the doorstep of, hey, an injury happens in Dallas, an injury happens in San Antonio, an injury happens in Memphis. Those are the next 3 teams that Gerald has on his list. Something happens there and those teams don't meet the mark and the door opens. Could the Suns be there to capitalize and take that chance? I think the answer to that is yes. I'm not predicting them to make the playoffs. I'm not predicting them to make the play-in tournament, but I think it would be foolish to say that they can't be on the doorstep. I don't think they're one of the teams that firmly has an invitation, but I think they could be outside the party, and if somebody doesn't show, they might be told, you know what, go on in. Maybe I'm
the alignment.
Maybe I'm too aligned. Maybe I'm too in the weeds on this now. But I like the direction that this boat is going in. And I think some of those ifs aren't real, true ifs. I think some of those ifs are going to happen. And so putting the Phoenix Suns at 11 is saying they are right there. They are on the outside looking in. They are, producer Evan, they're the HM. They're the honorable mention of next year's Western Conference standings. And sometimes when we do the lists, when we do the top 5s, an HM, we debate it, we make a case, and an HM gets into a list. The Suns are trying to be the HM, the honorable mention on our top fives that makes it in. What's more likely? Is it more likely that they miss the playoffs? Is it more likely that they miss the play-in tournament? Yeah, there's a lot of new, a rookie coach, so much new roster turnover. They've got to gel. It's probably going to take half the season for them to get there. It's more likely that post-trade deadline, you see this team really fire on all cylinders and they end the season strong. And maybe they pull what we've seen over the last 12 games from the Diamondbacks and they go on a nice little run to send us into the summer feeling good about the direction, the trajectory for this franchise. But it's going to take a little bit. That's the most likely outcome here, is that when we get to season's end, you feel better about where this team is. But it's going to take a little bit for us to get there. Now, if they get off to a great start, if they gel right away, you speed up the timeline just a touch. You speed it up to where if they play their way into being in the mix around the trade deadline, not being completely out of a play-in tournament spot at the deadline, all of us would enjoy that. All of us would be excited by them.
The alignment.
Getting there a little quicker than we all anticipated. But 11th feels fair. 11th, right on the doorstep of being the play-in tournament, feels fair. And all those ifs, if just a couple of them go the Suns' way, I think they can be on the doorstep.
How many things do you actually need to go right for this team to finish 10th and give yourself a play-in? I don't think it's as many as people think. I really don't.
I'll take it a step further. All you need to do is be in position to take advantage of another team slipping. I don't even think the Suns need to be the 7, the 8, the 9 seed.
No.
They need to be the 11 seed, maybe the 10 seed, and just hope that somebody slips up. Hope that somebody goes on a bad stretch where they lose 6 of 7 and the door is open and the Suns take advantage. And guess what? You don't have to go that far back. Look at what happened last year. San Antonio, Wemby gets hurt. De'Aaron Fox gets hurt. Dallas, they trade Luka. They lose Kyrie. Anthony Davis is banged up. What were we saying last season? I know you weren't here for some of this, but we were saying, even as poorly as the Suns were playing, nobody is running away with that 10 seed. Nobody is running away with that 9 seed. We saw that play out last season. All you're saying is, can you put me in a position to, if that plays out again next year, you're there to take advantage. And you do what you didn't do last year, which is take advantage. That's why on this board behind me, we have it. The book it. The Suns are going to win more than 31.5 games. They are a better basketball team than they were a year ago, and that team won 36. Put yourself in a position to be there if the house of cards tumbles and you're in a position to take advantage. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. Also got you over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, all of the stories that we didn't get to throughout the course of the program, we call them the leftovers. We'll do it next. It's lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
James Out West, your home for sports down here in the desert. Join James and Pat the Stat Guy as they recap the weekend and dive deep into the numbers for the NFL, NBA, college sports, and more.
That's 5 seasons of 1,200 yards.
Player stats, team numbers, and contracts are just the start of the discussion for James and Pat.
He started 815 career games. He threw 749 complete games.
There's no hiding when it comes to stats. It's James Out West every Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
I got my first real 6-string.
Brian Adams, Roll with the Punches Tour 2025. A night full of hits, live at PHX Arena, Saturday, November 15th. With special guest Pat Benatar and Neil Giraldo. Get tickets now at livenation.com.
How about we get some pizza?
Nah.
Sushi?
No.
I thought you didn't care.
I don't.
Slow cooked.
How did they get in our car?
I don't know, but we're going to Dell.
Del Taco's new slow-cooked pork carnitas, authentic spices, and salsa roja give it a rich, deep, melt-in-your-mouth flavor. Pork carnitas are here for a limited time, so get some tender, juicy Del Taco today.
Every day, savings, energy efficiency, rebates. Every day at APS, you have ways to save energy and money. We know how important it is to keep your bill as low as possible. That's why we offer programs to help you manage your energy use. Schedule a home energy checkup for savings recommendations tailored to your home. Find rebates on smart thermostats. Compare your rate plan options and switch to the plan that would have saved you the most money. Find ways to save at aps.com/brighter.
The garage door springs that come standard with most homes don't last. And when they fail, it's not just inconvenient, it's dangerous. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello at A1 Garage Door Service. Our springs are the toughest in the industry, backed by our lifetime warranty. That's right. Fix them once and you're covered for life. Don't risk your family's safety or your peace of mind. Let A1 replace your springs before they become a problem. From repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one.
A1 from day one.
Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KTUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KTUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KTUS1060.com and on the KTUS 1060 app.
Back here on the lunch break, KTUS AM 1060. Appreciate you joining us. We got one more before we are out of here on the Thursday edition of the show. It's the leftovers. All the stories that we didn't get to throughout the course of the program. Producer Evan has them for us. What is on the docket today as we get out of here on a Thursday?
The Padres have now officially passed the Dodgers for the lead in the NL West. It's going to come down to a photo finish in this division.
Not if the Dodgers keep playing the way that they're playing. Padres might run away and hide with this thing. Dodgers,
but they won't.
No, I don't expect it. But if the Dodgers continue to play the way that they're playing and the Padres continue to play the way that they're playing,
it's true.
This is going to get lopsided in a hurry.
Important series coming up this weekend. You got both of them taking on each other this weekend in LA.
I'm sure nothing bad is going to happen between those two teams in a very important series in August. I'm sure there will be no benches clearing incidents.
I believe this is the first time they've played since
the last time the two teams got together and had a benches clearing altercation.
Yes. Yep.
So I'm sure everything's going to be fine over the weekend.
I think that everything's going to go swimmingly.
Everything's going to be great.
The Cubs have called up.
They really play this weekend?
They do, yeah.
That's going to be wild.
The Cubs have called up their top prospect, Owen Cassie, who's making his debut right now. He's currently actually 0 for 2.
The Cubs are playing good ball. They just unfortunately are in a division with the best team in baseball. And so that leads them to a wild card spot. But they're looking for offense. That's what they're looking for. He's playing DH today. That's what they need more of. And so they're hoping that he can provide that for them here down the stretch. 68-51. They're playing the Blue Jays right now, a really good squad. And they're trying to. It's hard. The Brewers have won 12 games in a row. They just win every single day.
Are the Brewers, God, are they going to take a step back before the playoffs? Doesn't feel like it right now.
Let me ask you a question.
I'm sure they will. But
in your mind, what does take a step back mean? They've won 12 in a row. Is take a step back lose a game? Yes, I expect them to lose a game here at some point. But they are playing some incredible baseball.
They really are.
They have the best record in the sport.
I don't know how. I saw the World Series updated odds today. Actually, in the break on Instagram, they are third still.
If I told you that on August 14th, the Dodgers, Mets, Yankees all would not be record-wise in the top 5, what would you have said to that?
I would have laughed. I would have laughed at you.
Here are your top 5. Brewers, Blue Jays, Phillies, Tigers, Cubs. Now, the Padres have more
that's
wins,
insane.
But on winning percentage, the Cubs are in front.
So current World Series odds, the Dodgers are still the favorite at plus 360. Makes sense. Then it's the Phillies at plus 650. Then you can get the Brewers at plus 850.
That is, hey, you're always a great regular season team.
Prove it to me.
Show it to me in the postseason.
You want to hear something even crazy? So you don't get your first American League team until 4th.
Toronto?
No.
They can't possibly have the Yankees still there.
No.
Seattle?
Seattle. And then it's Seattle, Detroit, and Toronto are tied.
What are the Yankees?
They're also tied with the Padres. The Yankees you can get at plus 1,300.
Yeah,
which is behind Houston, but in front of Chicago, the Mets, and the Red Sox.
I mean, those numbers are going to continue to drop. They're not playing good baseball. I know they just took 2 out of 3 from the Twins, but they are 3rd in their own division.
Currently, yes. I mean, they've been really, really bad. And you've watched games. I've watched games. Does it look like it's turning a corner?
No, all the problems that they have right now, there's no savior walking through that door. They have 2 starters, maybe. Max Fried has not been good since around July-ish. Since around post-All-Star break, he has not been very good. Rodon has just been so Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
I mean, they're currently 6 games back at Toronto.
Yeah, they're not catching them with the way. And their bullpen's been a mess. They hopefully got it figured out with Bednar being their closer, but Devin Williams is still a problem.
They're holding on to that last wild card spot by a game.
It's the Guardians, right? That's
who
chasing
have
them
been
down.
playing pretty good baseball.
Yeah, the Guardians are 7-3 in their last 10. That's allowed them to game 3 games on the Yankees in that stretch.
I mean, it's going to come down to a photo finish. I'm excited to see. The end of baseball season's always fun.
Yeah.
So it's going to be fun to see that. Some Micah Parsons, Jerry Jones stuff we got.
Let me prepare myself.
Question.
Yeah.
What is preventing the sides from talking?
A reporter asked this.
Yes.
Okay, so you're role playing here.
Yes.
It's a table read is what we're doing here. Okay. all right.
Jerry.
Okay.
Really nothing. Question. So why aren't they talking? Again, nothing. We might or we might not talk.
This is a bit, right? This is a skit in The Office. This is like Parks and Rec. I mean, everybody's in on the joke, right? At some point, both sides are going to come out and say, ha ha, we got you. Early April Fools. We had a contract this whole time. We're just having fun. Ha ha. Like, this is absurd. This is absolute craziness.
I'm telling you, I have never seen a contract dispute like this. I mean, this is in its own world of insane.
Hold on. It's not a dispute.
Or talks.
What are we just? There's nothing to dispute. A contract has not been offered. They're not speaking. There's nothing to dispute. I'm pretty sure if I look up the definition of dispute, it's going to require a conversation. Yes, a dispute is a disagreement, argument, or debate. You can't do that if you're not disagreeing, arguing, or debating. You're not talking. The other definition of dispute is to argue about something, discuss heatedly. They're not discussing anything. There's not a contract between the 2 sides.
No. Doesn't feel like they're close. I know we talked about the Matt Stafford or Micah Parsons thing today.
I jokingly threw that out in buy or sell. Yeah.
Like Micah Parsons, I just don't see a world where he's going to play.
Did I not say this 2 weeks ago when we first talked about this?
No, I know, but I mean,
they're not trading him. He's just not going to play week 1.
I believe I was the first to say that.
I'm not. We're not litigating this out right now. We're gonna be in a dispute here in about 2 seconds.
But no, I mean, how close are we that we are not going to until he's just like, I'm not going to play.
Let me just. I'm just going to look at something.
I can't believe this.
They play Thursday, September 4th.
Yes, they're the first game of the year.
The first game of the year. It's August 14th. They're not even talking.
No. I mean, we're 20 days away?
At some point, they are going to talk, and then they're going to disagree about the money. And then we're just going to do this again. We haven't even gotten to that part yet.
I was going to say, it's not like they got through the initial talk.
No, we haven't even had those.
We haven't even had the initial conversation with an agent in the room, right? So that's just from a money standpoint. Who knows what language the Cowboys are going to try and sneak in there?
I just don't. If you're a Cowboys fan, I just I don't know what you're doing with yourself right now. I really don't.
It's getting to the point where, I mean, like, he's the owner of the team, but at what point does he take a step back?
This is, you know what? You know who I'm more mad at? I'm more mad at everybody else.
Everybody in the room.
I'm more.
Nobody
mad,
saying anything to him.
I'm more mad at everybody else in the room for not staging an intervention and saying, Jerry, police, get this done. Make it stop. But the worst part is, I think he likes it.
No, he loves it.
He loves this.
Was it true? I saw this on Twitter. I don't know how true this was.
Yeah, with
you. He called the Cowboys a soap opera.
Oh, he said something about how he loves the drama.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
I think that was the direct. He called them a soap opera. I mean, that's
not a soap opera here on this show. We're out of here. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Jim Rome's coming up next. Everybody have a great rest of your Thursday.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.